What's up, Out the Mud? It's your girl Monica here with an update for you on what's been going on. This video is long overdue. This is a recap of what's happened so far this spring 2023 grow season. We're at the back of my 5 acres here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, looking at a overgrown high tunnel, trying to figure out how we're going to do this spring. This was at the beginning of the spring, around February or March maybe. And so, as you can see, this is a 30 by 96 high tunnel. I got it as a result of a grant through the EQIP program. And if you're not familiar with that EQIP program, that's offered through NRCS. And NRCS is a department within Farm Services. And Farm Services, as you all probably already know, is a part of USDA. So if you've got your farm number, you can definitely do the same thing. So I encourage you to do that. So here we are. These are 5-foot roll-up sides, which I added to the package. They don't come standard, but I definitely wanted to have that to be able to, provide ventilation to the high tunnel. So this is us trying to figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to get back and forth to the high tunnel. Rutherford County is very rocky. We're in Rutherford County, Tennessee. That's where Murfreesboro is located, and it's extremely rocky. And I was never planning on digging anyway, because I do not believe in, tilling based on all the things that I've learned. So we were going to do raised beds, but we still have to figure out a way to get back to the high tunnel. That's the most important thing. It's like, if we're going to have to do this on a regular basis, how are we going to get back and forth? So we're plotting and planning a road to get cut so that we can get back there. And we hired Hank. He has his tractor, and he came out to help us out. Really great guy. And we called him right there at the beginning of the spring to start cutting a road for us. And he stayed out there a few hours the first time. I think he came out twice and got it kind of where we could actually say, okay, cool, this is a road. Next step was crush and run. That was our next step, but we didn't make that step because we had to reallocate funds somewhere else. And that sometimes happens. Let this video be an encouragement on some things not to do, because you're going to see me do some crazy stuff here in a second, but also encouragement on just do what you got with what you can. You might not be able to get everything that you want done, but don't let that stop you from making progress, taking a step forward. So we got the road cut. Okay. Now this is about a 1/4 mile walk from the fence, not from my back door, from the fence. There's a main house. Then there's an apartment, which used to be a licensed greenhouse, which I'm probably about to relicense it as a greenhouse. And I'll tell you why here at the end. And then there's another building, and then there's a fence. From the fence, we're looking at about a 1/4 mile walk, okay, to the high tunnel. And that's if you're walking at a nice, little clip, right? So there is the beginnings of our road. Like I said, the goal was to come through with some crush and run to keep the vegetation from coming up. We weren't able to do that. But we will. In the winter, we have a lot of plans. We're going to be fixing some fencing. We're going to be introducing some goats. If not goats, we're definitely going to be introducing some hogs and some sheep. So animal husbandry is on the way. However, we have to deal with fencing before we can do that. And we think that's going to help us keep our vegetation down, so we don't have to fight with it, the spring rains and all of that. Everything just starts to grow like crazy. So we got everything cut. We got back to the high tunnel, and now we have a path. So we're super optimistic about things. We took a little break, needed to replenish some funds. So we took a class. There was a class being offered by UT Extension that gave us a Master Farm Manager certificate. So I think it was a 2 or 3 day class that if you attend this class, you get this certificate. And why this is important, and you need to look out for this in your state, is that because once you get these certificates at these classes, they give you access to discounts on things. So, I mentioned the fact that we're going to be getting some hogs and we're going to be getting some goats and whatever else, right? Well, when we go and we need fencing and different things like that, these certificates, once you go through these training programs, they will do what they call a cost share on some of this stuff, meaning that you don't have to pay the whole amount. They'll chip in. If you've gotten the certificate, then they'll chip in so much. I don't really know exactly how all of it works. I have to do another video on that. But I do know that by us sitting for 3 days and getting this training, which was a very valuable training. I learned how to make a farm plan and do some other things. It's going to give us access to, discounts in October, and the applications open up in October. So, do your research. I'm not sure what state you're in. Tennessee is extremely ag friendly. Like, if you're in Tennessee and you haven't started a farm yet, I don't know what the problem is, because they make it so easy to plug in. They've got the New Farmer Academy. They've got UT Extension, which is amazing. So you need to, if you're in Tennessee, plug in. But there are other states that are equally as farm friendly. So definitely go to your Department of Agriculture's website and see what classes and trainings and programs that they have. Everything that we've taken, it's not been very expensive. Like that farm class was only $100, right? All right. So here is Hank coming out again to clear out the inside of the high tunnel, so that we can start, laying down some weed control. And we're going to do the, square foot gardening. So we're going to have some 4x4 raised beds in there. And then we're also going to have to bring in dirt. And keep in mind, there is no water. There is no water back here. Okay. So yeah, again, I told you this video is going to show you some stuff to do and not to do. I had to put this high tunnel, this 30 by 96 high tunnel, in the back of the property because of all the rocks. You guys saw it in the video earlier. This is nothing but rocky land, right? So this was the only place that I could put this thing, right? So that's why it's there. But what I should have done is paid the extra and got the gutters. Okay. So we're going to fix this for next season, but we weren't able to deal with it this season. Only thing we could do this season was haul the water back there. And you'll see us doing that here in just a little bit. So that's that. So that, I'm sitting here, I'm excited about the prospects of, growing in the 2023 grow season, and just optimistic about, starting the whole process. So we ultimately got some boxes built, started, bringing those back there and trying to figure out the lay of the land. We knew we needed 3 feet of space between each row and against the wall so that we could walk around. And, we knew we needed to figure out something to keep the weeds down. You see how the spring is, we're pretty much into March, I think now, because you can see outside of the high tunnel, the greenery that's starting to grow. It doesn't take long. That first couple of rains, it turns into a jungle back there. So we were sitting out there trying to figure out how to get everything set up. And then, of course, we got to go get dirt. We got to bring dirt in as far as that goes, because the dirt out there is no digging it up. And then it's so deficient. I did get a soil test. If you haven't had a soil test, definitely do that. The soil everywhere is pretty much deficient of everything. So you're probably going to have to amend. This is me in the high tunnel, hot, tired, and old and fat. Just ready to take a break. But anyway, I got there and said, okay, let me get this done. So I started knocking out the planting. So I started planting some onion transplants, some onion sets. Ultimately, these all got eaten up. All of my onion sets got eaten up. So they started off pretty good, but yeah, they ended up getting eaten up. But when I tell you, this is the whole reason, when I was back there, it was just me and my dog, and I probably have on long sleeves because of the mosquitoes. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have on long sleeves. But if you're wondering why in the world do you have on long sleeves in that hot high tunnel, that's why, because they were eating your girl up, honey. They were tearing me up. But it felt so good just getting my hands in the dirt. This is my goal in life. I have 2 other businesses, and that's a part of the reason why I haven't posted here much, is because my attention has been focused on those businesses, because they actually bring money in, and I kind of have to focus on them. But my whole goal is to do this full time. I want to be a homesteader. I want to grow most of the food that my family eats. I want to have my own CSA, which is community supported agriculture. That's when people, a club of people who buy from you. That's the goal. That is the goal. I don't know what that's called. I'm, just turned 48 in July on the 9th. And I don't know if that's a midlife crisis thing, but it's been happening for the last 3-4 years or so, if not longer. So, and my friends I love them dearly, because they're always reminding me. They're like, Monica, what's going on with your agriculture? What are you doing with that? I know that's your passion. Why are you doing this and not doing that? And I'm like, I want to be doing that, but I got to do this in order to not, lose everything, because that's where the money is coming from. But it doesn't bring me joy. It's just work. Okay. And some of y'all are probably in the same boat. Like, you would much rather be growing things and raising animals and being in one with nature versus what you're currently doing. And I'm here to tell you that it is possible. Even, don't ever give up on that. Just do what you can until you can get there. Right. So yeah, that's the thing with that. And spending time with Rico Black, my dog, and being out there it was, I don't know, therapeutic for me, to be honest. So here it is. I'm hauling water. We catch rainwater in 55-gallon trash cans, fill it up with, use the old water bottles to fill up the water. And I broke the wheelbarrow, right? So this is some of my watermelon before they're all gone now. I just don't even want to go back there. I'll probably cry. We haven't been back there since the end of June. But fortunately, I did plant some things close to the house too in containers. Something told me I should. I did some tomatoes, sweet potatoes, white potatoes, and onions close to the house as well. So we did get, something done. But yeah, so I had watermelon, bell pepper, corn, onions. Like I say, my onions got ate up. I don't know if I mentioned that. This bucket we're looking at is actually sweet potatoes and microgreens, believe it or not. There were some microgreens seeds still in the soil. Here's why I couldn't continue to walk to the back. I tore up the fascia in my foot and had been walking on it for a while and didn't realize I had done something bad to it, but I did. And so I ended up having to wear a brace. So that kind of cut out all of that walking back to the back. So we resorted to other means. And so I was convinced to drive my car back there. And I was like, oh, okay, let's try. It won't get stuck, right? Of course, no, it won't get stuck. And the car got stuck, okay? I don't even want to hear the comments. I don't even care. I know it was a bad idea from the beginning. I know it's a whatever wheel drive. I know it was a bad idea. Who takes a Benz to the back of 5 acres hauling water to water tomatoes? Me, okay? It got stuck. And when I tell you I was hot, ended up having to replace one of the tires because we were spinning it out so much that one of the tires went and started losing air. But anyway, this is what you do. You do what you think you can do to get what you need to get done, right? So, do I have some regrets on how I'm doing some of this stuff? Yes. I was hot. Do you understand me? I was beyond heated that day. That was a day that if the woods could talk, child. Okay. But, we figured it out, got some cat litter and got her out of there, got the water to where it needed to go. We were not trying to walk all that back there anyway. So we ended up getting the water back there. And that was why, the end of June was about it for us. I bought the boys a dresser, and so I had to rent this U-Haul. And so while we had it, I said, you know what? Let's take some water to the back. I bet you it won't get stuck. And sure enough, that joker didn't get stuck at all. So that was cool. So we had a nice little adventure this spring, ups and downs, lots of money spent over the course of the last several months, just, doing stuff, the way that we thought we should be doing it, I guess. Not necessarily the right way, but, just doing it the way that we thought we could do it and get whatever we needed to get done. But anyway, so here are some of the tomato plants that I kept close to the house. They're way taller than that now. This was earlier, maybe a few months back. I got radish in there. I got potatoes, several varieties of potatoes in containers. So definitely, I made sure to grow some things close to the house. That was my gut, because I didn't know how the high tunnel thing was going to go. Plus, we started running into snakes. And yeah, it's not fun walking along a path and you see a black racer, running 5 feet in front of you. And if you got a dog like mine who you love and he's crazy, he's going to go after the snake, and I did not need a vet bill, But anyway, so this has been the interesting spring. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, have been since 2011, full time. So my middle name is Pivot. And so that's what we're about to do. Here are some of the tomatoes that came off of the out of the container garden that we've got close to the house. And there's some more here in the windowsill we'll see here in a second. But yeah, so now it's time to pivot. And so that building that's behind us used to be a licensed greenhouse. We're about to get that back licensed as a greenhouse and focus on, doing some herbs. I'm going to start some herbs. I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to pivot until we can get the fencing and the animals and do all of the things. We're just going to pick up where we left off from spring of 2023 and grow on that in spring of 2024. But until then, I've got these resources that I have right here, and my friends have been encouraging me to do, get back into it. And so I said, you know what, let me go get these books that I purchased, the herb books, and let me see if I can't just grow some herbs, get that apartment back there that's sitting empty right now, get it licensed again as a greenhouse, and start growing some herbs and just keep going. Whatever you do, just keep going. And so I just want to thank you for being a subscriber on this channel. I know it's been a minute since I've posted. Like I said, this video is long overdue. But I thank you so much for tuning in, reading through your comments, and like my friends telling me, Monica, you got to get back into this thing that you so much love, has really just, really inspired me to do this video to kind of catch you guys up on what's been going on. And I won't take so long to post the next one. I hope you guys are having a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.